hopefuls, with Ben Wallace backing out earlier today, but, quote, leaning towards backing Boris. Well, let's now go to Tom Harwood, our political correspondent at Downing Street, who's going to bring us up to date on all of the latest. Tom.
Yes, it is remarkable, isn't it, Arlene? At this time last week, we had just lost a Chancellor, and by yesterday, we'd lost a Prime Minister. The speed at which things have moved is quite remarkable. And if you were to ask someone even 48 hours ago, could you possibly see a way back for Boris Johnson, they'd have laughed at you. And now Boris Johnson is being seriously considered as one of these contenders who could well become Prime Minister by next week. We're looking at a really close race, actually, developing between the two standout leads at the moment by MP backers, around 60 declared backers each, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, that is. I've been fortunate enough over my years to keep some old memorabilia from various campaigns. Here's a Ready for Rishi badge just from the summer. Can dust that off, because no doubt there will be MPs marching around with them on Monday. And here's a little card, Back Boris from 2019. These are two people who, of course, have run for the leadership before and made it through very far before. But the wild card in the race, of course, is Penny Mordaunt. Now, she will be counting on the idea that Boris Johnson doesn't in the end stand, and maybe the anyone but Rishi backers could fold to her. Ultimately, in this conversation, we talk about candidates. There are no declared candidates at this stage. No one has counted themselves in. There are just many MPs saying they would back different individuals. But crucially, we need to look at the dividing lines in the Conservative Party. There are lots of people in the anyone but Rishi camp. They're mostly backing Boris. There are lots of people in the anyone but Boris camp. They're mainly backing Rishi. The question is, can anyone put the party back together again? They need 100 nominations in by Monday at 2 p.m. to get through to the next round. And if there is more than one candidate who gets those 100 nominations, they go to MP votes when they get to a final two. If they get to a final two, that goes to the membership of the Conservative Party and an online vote that concludes on Friday. It's a rapid rollercoaster process.
It sure is, but I think a lot of us would like to see it happen quite quickly to get some stability back, because, of course, nothing is happening in government at the moment, Tom. Everybody is looking at who's going to be the next Prime Minister. And, of course, none of us expected to see Boris back as quickly as this. I think I probably did say that he would be back. I didn't expect him to be back just as quickly as he has appeared to come back. But tell me this, Tom, there's still that Privileges Committee to come forward, and that could be very, very difficult for Boris, couldn't it?
It really could, and this is the strongest argument that many of the Rishi Sunak supporters have. They say, of course, at the start of next month, we're expecting the Privileges Committee to go over all of that evidence that has already been submitted to the committee. Now, if they find that Boris Johnson knowingly misled Parliament, that could result with a suspension from the House, and that would be pretty seismic. However, the Boris backers say, well, Rishi Sunak got fined for COVID breaches as well. Aren't they really both the same? I suppose that'll be up for all of their colleagues to make their minds up. Not much time to do it. Many conversations to be had over this weekend, and a very exciting Monday for us all to follow.